Naked like this?
She's risking it all.
And the detox.
It's safe to say that everyone has a comfort zone, which, according to the long forbidden site called Wikipedia, is a psychological state in which things feel familiar to a person and they are at ease and perceive they are in control of their environment, experiencing low levels of anxiety and stress. Feeling at ease, being in control, and experiencing low levels of anxiety all sound pretty great. Which leads us to the question, if our comfort zone is our safe place, why do we do things that make us uncomfortable? The other day, I went on a camping trip with some of my friends. Throughout the process of planning and while on the trip, a few different friends that knew I was afraid of things like bugs, the dark, and that I didn't do so well in dirty places like bathrooms, asked me, why do you want to go camping? These were really valid questions because normally we gravitate to do things that we are good at or enjoy doing, and we try to avoid putting ourselves in these vulnerable positions. And it got me thinking. As Asian Americans, many of us were raised to embrace the uncomfortable and get through tough times without complaining, to fly under the radar, so to speak. And although this may have something to do with why I tend to participate and seek out opportunities that may happen to be out of my comfort zone, I've also learned to appreciate what comes out of being in uncomfortable situations. And with that, here are 5 reasons why we should be more open to leaving our comfort zones. Self-improvement. The first thing that comes to mind is that comfort is a privilege, which means that there may not always be the option of relying on comfort in every situation. As someone who deals with the uncertainty of how functional I'll be each day, and health seeming to get in the way of many plans coming into fruition, being afraid of being uncomfortable will only lead me to miss out on even more life than I already do. If I'm afraid when I can do something, and I miss out when I can't do those things, then I may never get to do them at all. I think it's important to push ourselves to experience unpleasant situations every once in a while, so that if we are faced with these uninvited and unexpected situations, they are easier to handle or get through. No one wants to live in fear, so before it gets that bad, let's learn to step into these moments. But how do we get ourselves to step into these situations? Learning to trust. Even if we are in a state where we can't trust ourselves to get through something alone, if we are able to trust people around us, it makes it that much easier. When you surround yourself with those who understand you and are willing to support you, the burden lightens greatly. Throughout the camping trip, my friends consistently showed up in support of me when I was clearly out of my comfort zone. My tent mates would close a zipper right after going in and out. We would walk to the bathroom together, and my friends would kill bugs for me. The list goes on. From the get-go, I knew that these were people that wouldn't judge me for my shortcomings, but instead be happy that I was trying my best.
Weird.
Now, don't get me wrong. It's important to note that supportive friends doesn't mean blind support and babying, or protection from all harm.
So do you drink water? Came here to have a good time and I'm feeling very
Dehydrated.
Very dehydrated. Dude, that's why you can't have a good time. So we can't have good things.
Yeah. You're dehydrated.
I believe that the greatest form of support is when people are willing to help you grow at a healthy pace. Surround yourself with people who you trust to both understand where you are at and push you to be the best version of yourself. Over time, you'll find that it gets easier and easier to trust yourself as well. Do things with intention. With all this being said, don't subject yourself to uncomfortable situations all the time. It's important to give your body breaks and appreciate where you currently are in life. I'm sure for many of us, we've come much further than we think we have. We honestly don't give ourselves enough credit. So if you find yourself teetering the fine line between self-acceptance and complacency, try weighing out the pros and cons. Making sure that the thing you value is the reason why you're putting yourself in this uncomfortable state means that you are prioritizing your values, and this is when we full send. If, on the other hand, you are struggling to find balance between self-improvement and the rat race of constant change and never being enough, take a step back and ask yourself, Where am I now? How can I find ways to appreciate my current self? And what are ways I can achieve my goals with the strengths I already have? Set goals that lead you to uncover your truest self instead of setting goals that are influenced by the things around us or social pressures. In other words, do things for yourself. Do things that you want to do that help you become the person you want to be instead of doing things for other people's sake or because you feel that you have to. Take my camping trip as an example. When the idea first came up, I had to look at the pros and cons of going on the trip. On one hand, I was afraid of the bugs, the dark, and the dirty restrooms. On the other, I wanted to go because I really enjoyed certain parts of the camping experience, like getting to unplug from the world, being present with friends, and enjoying the peace and beauty of nature. From this assessment, I came to the conclusion that I valued the reasons to go much more than the reasons not to go scared me. After figuring out the reason why I wanted to step into the uncomfortable, I was able to set mental expectations. This helped me to be able to get through the discomfort of the trip, and it was worth it. Recognizing and accepting that everyone has different strengths and weaknesses. Recognizing your discomfort of something is like accepting a weakness you have. Where you find weaknesses in yourself, others may excel and vice versa. My whole life, I've never known myself to be naturally gifted at anything. I wasn't good at drawing, my penmanship was awful, my cooking tasted bad, I was always at the bottom court at tennis practice, and I didn't know how to harmonize. The list goes on. It's kind of funny to think about how the things that people know me for today are things that I was once so insecure about. I remember in 5th grade, I hated my handwriting so much because compared to all of my friends, mine looked like chicken scratch. So I sat down at my desk that summer, found a font that I liked on the computer, and I practiced. I copied it over and over again. I practiced writing so much that for the rest of my academic career and even beyond that, people would always compliment me for my handwriting and how organized or pretty my notes were. Little did they know that the things they thought I was naturally good at, I worked for. And it felt good when people noticed. I felt accomplished and felt confident about myself. It's tiring to hide your weaknesses, especially when you hide them for yourself. Showing our weaknesses gives us opportunities to appreciate and celebrate people's strengths as well as learn from them. Who knows, maybe the thing you admire about someone else is also something they worked so hard to achieve. And that should encourage us to believe that it is possible to achieve it ourselves. You never know what can come out of it. There are so many things in life that come out of being in the uncomfortable. We may miss out on so many of these opportunities if we never allow ourselves to step out of our comfort zones. As an introvert, there are times where I just need to recharge and be alone. But sometimes I get so comfortable in being alone that I'm scared of using up my energy if I do engage in social activities. What I forget sometimes is that spending my energy on things like hanging out with friends or staying up for deep talks can be well worth the effort. Just as stepping into the gym for the first time or learning a new skill can be daunting, friendships can deepen, your health can improve, and that new skill could become something you really enjoy doing. I guess what I'm saying is that if you are faced with opportunities or situations that you want to take part in but are afraid, remember, you are going to live with yourself forever. Why not try to work on making you the best version of yourself? Find people who you trust that will help you trust yourself to overcome your fears and become the person you strive to be. Have purpose for why you are in the uncomfortable. Not only will this help you get through it, but this will help guide you, making sure that the goals you set will lead you to become your most authentic self. Recognize your weakness and own it. Along with that, don't be afraid to encourage others by pointing out how you admire them for their strengths. Not only can you learn from them, but can also make those around you feel appreciated and seen. And lastly, have an open mind when it comes to experiencing the unknown, because you never know what may be waiting around the corner. Alright, that's all I have for today. I hope that was helpful, and let me know in the comments down below, what are uncomfortable situations that you want to start stepping into? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Also, go camping.